In this video, we're exploring Dinosaur National Monument. Its location encompasses the northern part of two states, Colorado and Utah. It's a place where prehistoric history meets some of the most rugged and beautiful landscapes in the American West. From real dinosaur fossils still embedded in rock to deep canyons carved by ancient rivers, this place feels like stepping back in time. Today we're starting off at the Visitor Center and then we'll head to the main attraction at the park, the Quarry Exhibit Hall, home to 1,500 dinosaur bones.
As we drive to the quarry, we will be traveling through multiple rock layers. Each layer reveals a different time period and environment that existed here in the past. And today, over 1,500 bones remain in place on the quarry wall.
In 1909, Earl Douglas discovered dinosaur bones near the top of a ridge formed by a layer of bone-bearing Morrison sandstone. After 15 years of excavation, a section of sandstone about 600 feet long and 40 feet high was removed. Part of the ridge was left untouched. Crews widened and deepened the area along the sandstone to about its present size. This building was the final step in achieving Earl Douglas's vision of a dinosaur exhibit that protected the bones in place. Excavation at the quarry was completed in 1992. Earl Douglas never saw the bones we see today, but he did see us as future visitors.
So this is a juvenile apatosaurus. So this is the upper leg bone, so your femur. And this is one of the only dinosaur bones that we have on the whole quarry. We have about 1,500 bones that's been chewed on by another dinosaur. So right here we've actually got some tooth marks where this animal got gnawed on. So if you've ever had like a turkey leg at Thanksgiving, or you've gone to KFC and gotten your drumstick, this is a drumstick. This is a dinosaur drumstick. And this is the meaty part of the drumstick. So it's the part you would be gnawing on anyway. So think about that when you chew on a drumstick next time you're leaving maybe marks on it. And the fun thing about this too is it was probably an Allosaurus actually eating it. And we get right here, this is a little Allosaurus tooth. So right there. And so Allosaurus and all dinosaurs, anytime they're eating, if they lose a tooth, it just falls out. They don't care. No tooth fairy comes. It falls out, and then a new one grows back in its place for its whole life. Anytime they lose a tooth, they get a new one.
So was that quarry exhibit exceptional? Wow.
Oh, wow.
That was really cool. So we're up here at the top, as you can see where the quarry is, and we are going to hike the fossil discovery trail, and you can kind of see some of it down there in the valley below us. It's about 1.2 miles, and it's going to take us back to the parking lot at the Visitor Center. All right, we have made it to the official trailhead, Fossil Discovery Trail, and we're going to be looking for a few things on this hike. We're going to be looking for a few dinosaur bones, some fish scales, and some clam fossils, clam-like fossils. So here we go.
You may also hike uphill from the trailhead located behind the visitor center. Restrooms and water are available during...
It's pretty cool. This park's got a lot of audio tours, so Leslie's got that playing on her phone. Gives you a lot of history, a lot of information. This is the area where you're supposed to be able to find the clam fossils. And they said look around the larger rocks. Yeah. Right there. Clam fossils. We're going to start making our way up this spur trail here to look for some dinosaur fossils. I think that white mark there denotes that being a dinosaur fossil, or dinosaur bone rather, down below it. Leslie thinks this is one. Yeah. I'd say so. We made it to the end of the spur trail and we found a large bone here. This is a femur bone. Huge. And the last fossil thing we're going to look at are the fish scale fossils up that way. Well, we struck out on finding the fish scales. We looked and looked and looked and couldn't see them. So we're going to hop back on the trail and make our way back towards the parking lot. And I think on the way there, we're supposed to be able to see some more petroglyphs. More petroglyphs. Wow.
Look at that one up there.
Yeah.
Oh, look at this. It's supposed to be a dinosaur.
What an awesome rock they're on, too.
Yeah.
Thing's neat.
Yeah, like.
We've got about a quarter of a mile to go before we get back to the visitor center where we're parked, and we're going to call it a day. I think we're going to head into Verno and maybe find a place to eat some lunch, and then we'll be back at it again tomorrow. Well, good morning. We have made an hour drive, about 55 miles from the little town of Jensen, Utah, where we're camped at, back into Colorado and into what's called the canyon section of Dinosaur National Monument. And we've driven to Harper's Corner, and there's a trail here that takes you to some beautiful views, a nice overlook of the canyons. It's a mile each way, so 2 miles. It's an out and back. Beautiful morning. We're the only ones here, and we're ready to get started. This trail's kind of unique in that we're kind of walking out on this spine or this finger. You've got these canyons down on both sides of you. Just beautiful views. Found a couple fossils here, pretty cool. There's one. And there's one. We've made it to the end. We got this fence here that obviously they want to keep you from going out onto that point, which I understand. Looks like that could be a little sketchy out there. What a view. And over here, so what we've got here is the Green River up there. And the other one's called Yampa.
Yeah,
Y-A-M-P-A.
I think we're saying it right.
We don't know if we're saying it right or not, but that one right there is the Yampa.
It's the clearer.
And then the confluence of those two rivers is on the other side of this big rock down there. They join together and then become what they call just the Green River right here. Beautiful. Those rocks right there, so unique.
It's like an uplift curve.
Hey, good morning. Another day in the park. What I'm going to do today is I'm going to show you the park map just for a brief second here and explain what we're going to do today and what we did yesterday. So this is the map of the entire monument. You can see it's kind of shaded here in green. It's 330 square miles in size. And right now we're at the Quarry Visitor Center in their parking lot. And this is where we came 2 days ago, and we kind of visited the center, and then we rode the shuttle up to the Quarry exhibit hall where we saw the dinosaur bones. Today we're going to drive this scenic drive out to Josie Morris cabin, and then I think we're going to hike the Hog Canyon, and there's some stops along the way that we're going to show you. What we did yesterday, we're camped here in Jensen outside of the monument. We drove 40 back into Colorado, turned onto Harper's Corner Road, took it all the way out to Harper's Corner, and then we hiked this trail here and had the beautiful views there. They call this the swelter shelter, and you can see quite a few petroglyphs and
pictographs.
I would say pictographs too. I see some painting on them.
Oh, there's a guy. He's got claws.
So you can see this little shelter here, kind of tucked back into this rock wall. Give them a little bit of protection from the weather. This was used by the indigenous people. They said maybe between 700, 1300 years ago. And looking out from the shelter here, you can see the valley. The Green River is flowing out there in the valley. You can't really see it, but maybe there you can see that there's a river. So if they were out there working in the fields or fishing in the river and they had some bad weather come, they could scamper up here and get out of the weather. What a beautiful viewpoint this is. Wow. You've got the Green River. Got a campground down here. assume there's some type of a boat ramp there. And you've got these beautiful mountains. Split Mountain, they call this. So beautiful. Pulled off at another overlook. Beautiful green field down there. The Green River, another campground. Making our way over to look at Split Mountain again. We've pulled off at the Petroglyph site called Cub Creek Petroglyphs. Isn't this beautiful? Just so scenic through here. All right, let's go find those petroglyphs. Boy, these are big petroglyphs. Wow. Unique. Looks like a vase with a plant in it.
Yeah.
I have no idea if that's what it is. Looks like you used to be able to take the trail on up the hill here, but they've got it blocked off, as you can see, because of some rock falling. But there's another panel up there that you can see. Another pull off for what's called the Lizard Petroglyph Trail. I think it's just a short trail, probably up to that wall up there. All right, we've made it to the wall, and I know the main attraction of the wall are the lizards, but we saw these on the way up, so I want to show those to you. Just a pretty view. Looking around, and I saw these turkeys down here in this little field here. Gobble, gobble. Right here. And you've got a lizard way up there. We are in lizard country. There's a lizard. There's a couple right there. There's a couple more. And here is the big daddy. Wow, look at that. And then another one. We decided to just continue to walk along the wall and see if we can find some more. I see a big panel up here. Looks like a lot of them.
There's a man on that.
Wish we weren't looking right into the sun, but that is called Elephant Toes Butte. I'd have to agree. Looks like an elephant foot. All right, we have made it to the property of a homesteader back in the early 1900s. A lady by the name of Josie Morris made her home here until 1964. I think she had a series of cabins dating back to the early 1900s. And this is the most recent cabin that she built. And she lived here. So this sign says that nearing the age of 40, she was divorced, her children grown, wanted a home of her own. So she chose this spot because of the plentiful water and good pasture. Great resources for growing fruits, vegetables, and raising cattle. She lived in this cabin until shortly before her death in 1964 at the age of 90. So there's two little canyon hikes here. One's called Hog Canyon and one's called Box Canyon. And a box canyon is a three-walled canyon, so you're walking down into it with canyon walls on both sides, and then you kind of run into a dead end because of a third wall. And it says that Josie used these canyons as corrals for her livestock. I don't know how far or how long they are. Here we go. Hog Canyon is 1.5 miles round trip. Says it's an easy trail. That's the one we're going to do. We asked the ranger at the visitor center of the two, which should we do, and she recommended Hog Canyon. So 1.5 miles round trip. Right at the very beginning of the trail is a chicken coop. So I'll show this to you here. Real close to her cabin. We were warned that there was poison ivy on this trail, and of course I'm wearing shorts. And I get poison ivy pretty easy, so maybe not a smart move on my part, but Leslie's got an eagle eye for it, so she'll point it out for me before I get there. Leslie, the former gymnast. That is a big tree, wow. Beautiful. Things are getting pretty narrow. You think so? Leslie says it ends there. All right, we made it to the end. That was a lot of fun. I think we're gonna chill out for a little bit and eat and drink. There was a lot of poison ivy on that trail, so beware if you get it. If you're one to get poison ivy like me, be on the lookout for it. Good morning. Another day in the monument. Right now we're at the, if you remember the scenic road that we took yesterday, we're parked alongside that, and we're at the Sound of Silence trailhead. This trail's about 3 miles, a little over 3 miles. Supposedly it's got some beautiful scenery, and with the name Sound of Silence, how can you not want to hike this? Well, after walking through that narrow corridor for quite a while, you finally come up on top of this ridge and get some beautiful views. Whew. I've been a little concerned about that rain up there, but I'm hoping we dodge it and it skirts around us on the edge there. But well, I'm tucked into a tree here waiting on this to pass. The wind's really picked up and it's been raining, but it looks like it's going to pass here pretty soon. Leslie's in another bushy tree next to me. All right, I'm gonna get one last good view of the mountains back here because we're getting ready to dive off the opposite side. And it's pretty much straight downhill for the next almost mile. But what a view. What a view. And then here is what's ahead of us. Going down. All right, this is a little bit of a tricky spot here, going down. All right, we just finished up the loop section and we're heading back to the parking lot. That was a lot of fun. We did that hike clockwise, and that's the preferred way of doing it. You get better, longer views looking at the pretty mountains that way instead of doing it the other way where the mountains are kind of more at your back. So, a lot of fun. I would recommend it if you're here. All right, we've made a little drive since we finished up our hike, and we're here to look at what's called the McKe Springs Petroglyphs, and these are supposed to be some of the best petroglyphs in the entire monument. So I'll just show you real quick where we are. So this is the visitor center, and this was the road that we were on this morning. So we did our hike around in there. So we came back out of the park and we got on what's called Brush Creek Road, which is 3500. And then we kind of did a turn to the right here, still on Brush Creek Road. And then we made a right on Island Park Road. So this is all paved until you get to Island Park, and then it's a 12-mile gravel road. Any car can do it. It's a very smooth road out to this point here where the petroglyphs are. So we're gonna climb up the side of this little hill here and check out these petroglyphs. So Leslie's just kind of giving you an idea of the size of them by her standing up there. Those are awesome. Wonder what that is he's holding.
I don't know. Shield or...
He's got a long arm.
Yeah.
Like a shield? I don't know.
As tall as me, probably. Or taller.
You may have him by a few inches.
This is the coolest, I think.
Wow. Good morning. We've driven about an hour and 10 minutes to get to this trailhead today. We are at the Jones Hole Fishery, and we're going to hike the Jones Hole Trail. It's about 8 miles if you do the whole out and back down to the river. I think we're just going to go down to the waterfall, and I think we'll see some petroglyphs on the way. And it's going to be a little over 5 miles for us. Another beautiful day, and this is a hike that the park ranger the first day we were here said was maybe her favorite in the entire monument. So we're looking forward to it. Well, we're exactly 1 mile into the hike, and I got my wish. I read a lot of reviews on this trail, and I would say half of them almost mentioned that they saw bighorn sheep. So I was keeping my fingers crossed, and wow, right in the middle of the trail. How awesome was that? All right, we dove off a little trail to the right, off the main trail, and you can kind of see very faded pictographs. All right, right next to those that we just looked at are a few more. These are petroglyphs. All right, we found a few more pictographs. That squirmy looking worm.
This is all tucked away. Sometimes you have to look behind the bushes.
Wow, those are really neat. Unfortunate that the rock has chipped off on the one on the right. Between 700 and 1700 years ago, this area was home to various groups of indigenous peoples. So we've traveled 2.2 miles, and we're going to hang a right here and head up to Ely Creek Falls. Little bitty waterfall, Ely Falls. All right, guys, we're done with this hike, and we're gonna go ahead and wrap up the park. Great time, lots of fun. As you can see, there's quite a bit of diversity here, and I would encourage you to come if you're ever in the area. It's definitely worth a stop. You guys all take care, and we'll be checking in with you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, everybody. Right on the trail. Yeah. We're making our way around them off trail. Try not to disturb them too much. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rams. And I don't know if that little one is a female or just a small one.
All right, let's get out of here before we make him too nervous.